So I have a single, I have a double, and I have a repeater. What's up, guys? This is Sifu Clay Pratka. We're going to talk about mastering the backhand strike with the stick. So when we look at stick fighting or Filipino martial arts, the backhand strike would be equivalent to like a jab in boxing. It's kind of a foundational strike that everything else can be built on. So first thing we want to look at is the actual body mechanics of how this strike's going to work. What Bev's going to do just for training is she's going to just hold up a stick for me. Typically I would use this strike to go into a hand, trying to break the hand. If I was going to the face, obviously hitting her. So it can be used anywhere there's hard bone. I love it to the elbow, to the kneecap. So you can really use the strike anywhere. But for safety for right now, I'm just going to be working the mechanics. So I'm going to hit up here high on the stick where I don't have to worry about hurting her, and I can actually work some power. So from here, I'm in this closed position. The key is that I don't want just my arm to do the work. So just the arm holding the stick. If I just did that, this is what it's going to be. But a lot of the power generation is going to start from the ground up. And a lot of it is this bow opening and closing. So this offhand is really doing a lot of work. So if you look, if I were to freeze this front arm and I were just to use this one, watch what's going to happen. So like this arm is limp right now. But because I'm doing this opening, I'm activating my lats, this hand is throwing. Now when I add this hand and this hand working together, and then I put a little bit of footwork and body into it, now I can start to really get the explosion into that shot. So there's a opening, this hand is involved, this arm is involved, and at the very end, it's got a little wrist. And you want to start to build this wrist as well. So how you're going to do that is just spend time right here. See, no arm. You can do this from both sides, but you want to get your wrist power where you got enough where you could, take a knuckle, crack a bone in a hand with just the wrist alone. So when I put all that together with this arm, and the wrist at the very end of the strike, that's what will start to build the whip. So that would be what we'd call a single backhand. Next is putting it into a combination, just like you have a jab, and then sometimes you have a double jab. So from here, what I want to do, I'm going to throw the first backhand. Now see how I opened here. As I come back from my close, I'm actually going to catch my own arm halfway back. What that's going to do is it's going to stop my recoil a little early. There's a little bounce off of my shoulder, so it's like, and then it's going to unwind back into the strike. So from here, slowly, it's going out, it's coming back, but instead of coming back here, having to stop the momentum and then restart again, I'm going, so I bounce off of one into the next. And if you play with it like that, you'll notice a significant change in the rhythm of the strike. So from here, it's instead of, you can hear the sound difference. Like that. That's over-exaggerated, just so you can see the movement. Lastly, we like to separate a double jab from a repeater jab. So a repeater jab would be, give me a repeater jab, Bev. See, she didn't do a full retraction. It was just like a pop, pop. Two quick ones. Again, more of a setup. So that would be my third option with the backhand. So that one, instead of coming even this far back, the second one's going to be mostly that wrist strike that we talked about in the beginning. So I'm going to do a full stroke, but then the second one is just a little extra tap. So it's a pop, pop. So I have a single, I have a double, and I have a repeater. And repeaters are great because they can go hand, get in a fighting stance now, with your stick in the front hand, please. Okay, so I can go hand, elbow, I can go hand, head, so you can bounce off of one right into the other really quick. So we've been equating everything to boxing right now. So if you think about boxing, they do a lot of focus mitt feeding, right? So I'm gonna feed Bev like I would in boxing with focus mitts, but my stick is my mitt. So it gives her a way to really be able to train her power safely. You could, of course, do this on a heavy bag or a tree, whatever, but then it's not moving. So I want to make it dynamic. I'm going to move with her, and I'm going to verbally call out, just like you would call out jab, cross, hook, whatever you wanted. I'm going to say single, I'll say double, and I'll say repeater. So from here, single, and we're going to move. Double, repeater. I can even go low. That would be to the knee. High, low. Double, repeater. So a great drill we like to use to practice these is I'll start feeding her. So I'm going to call out single, double, and repeater. Single, double, repeater. I can even add in low, low, single. And we move in between. It's very important. She's still staying active, light on her feet, bouncing, move like a boxer. Single, double, repeater, single, double, repeater, single, double, and repeater. One more time, low, and there you go. So that is feeding like focus mitts, but for stick fighting.